While in Davos, Switzerland, for the 2018 World Economic Forum, President Donald Trump sat down for a special dinner with a host of prominent European business leaders and CEOs to discuss their operations involving the U.S. and their plans for expansion and investment, according to the Daily Caller. Following brief opening remarks, Trump went around the table and had each guest speak for a moment. Nearly all of them took the time to thank Trump for the work that he has done to improve not just the U.S. economy, but the global economy as well, by virtue of tax reform and deregulation. According to CNBC, the guest list at the dinner represented something of a who's who of European business and included the leaders of such companies as Adidas, Bayer, HSBC, Nestle, Nokia, Novartis, SAP, Siemens, Total, and Volvo, among several others. Joining the president from his administration at the dinner was economic advisor Gary Cohn, Homeland Security Sec. Kirstjen Nielsen, National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster, and Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. Commerce Sec. Wilbur Ross, and Treasury Sec. Steve Mnuchin also accompanied Trump to Davos, but were not present at the dinner. According to a White House transcript, first up was Joe Keeser, president of technology firm Siemens, who congratulated Trump on the tax cuts. "We have been investing quite a lot into the country. And since you've been successful with tax reform, we decided to develop next-generation gas turbines in the United States," he said. The CEO of Nestle, Mark Schneider, expressed how excited his company was with what was occurring within the U.S. economy, and Rajeev Suri of Nokia spoke of how happy and pleased he was in regard to Trump's focus on building up and expanding the U.S. infrastructure upon which his telecom business relied. The president of Volvo, Martin Lundstedt, remarked on how all Volvo trucks and construction equipment, including Mack trucks, were manufactured 100% in the U.S., and spoke of how his company was set to make their biggest investment ever into research and development, initially pegged at just over $2 billion. The Adidas apparel company, represented by Kasper Rorsted, stated that the U.S. was the biggest part of their business and mentioned how they had just opened up a new automated shoe manufacturing plant in Atlanta, Georgia. The CEO of pharmaceutical company Bayer, Werner Baumann, also spoke of increasing investments in America and noted that his business was consolidating research and development into a new headquarters in St. Louis, Missouri, with an investment of about $16 billion. Patrick Pouyanné, CEO of oil and gas company Total, pointed out that his company had just made a massive oil discovery in the Gulf of Mexico and was building a new gas plant in Louisiana to export their product, as well as an investment of $3 billion into a petrochemical facility in Texas. He added that there would be more to come following tax reform and noted that Total had also invested $2 billion into developing solar energy in the U.S. The CEO of Norwegian gas company Statoil, Eldar Sætre, also spoke of investing heavily into the U.S. across the entirety of the energy sector, to include fossil fuels and renewables. He made it a point to note that Trump's regulatory moves in the oil and gas industry, in addition to tax reform, was good news that allowed for increased investment. The CEO of Novartis, Vas Narasimhan, not only praised tax reform, but also spoke highly of the people Trump had placed in charge of the Food and Drug Administration, which he believed would help spur future innovations. Last but not least was Bill McDermott of business software firm SAP, who jokingly noted that not everyone present at the table was one of his company's customers, and stated, "It is kind of amazing to have all your customers talking about adding jobs and growing their business. And it's just a real tribute to the momentum that you've created in a global economy. So I thank you very much." You can watch all of the remarks from the gathered business leaders right here. This is the last thing in the world that Democrats and their allies in the mainstream media want the American people to see, as it is just a mere glimpse into how Trump's economic policies are truly working to the benefit of both the U.S. and the global economy at large. Share this story on Facebook so everyone can see what these world business leaders had to say to President Trump about tax reform, deregulation and their future business plans and investments in America.